time to do our calendar today for the month of April. We are on this new number here. It doesn't start with a 2 anymore, friends. What number does it start with now? That's right, it starts with the 3. And what number comes after the 3? It's a 0, so that makes today the 30th. And let's find out our pattern for today. Red circle, orange triangle, purple square, red circle, orange triangle, and what shape comes next? That's right, it's a purple square. And how many lines do we need to make a square? 4. So let's start with a line at the top going across, a line going straight down on the side, a line going straight down on the other side, and then a line at the bottom to connect them. And there's our pattern for today. And today is the blue day. Do we know what day the blue day is? It comes after Wednesday. Let's sing our days of the week song. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week. There are 7 days in a week. What day came after Wednesday in the days of the week song? It's Thursday today. Today is Thursday, April 30th. For today's art project, we're going to be doing 2 different types of tie-dye. We're going to be doing one with coffee filters and one with wet wipes. We're going to start with the coffee filter one because it's going to take some time to dry. For our coffee filter tie-dye, we're going to need coffee filters and some markers, and we're going to need a spray bottle filled with water. And I'm going to have something to color on because the ink might go through onto the table. We are going to start off doing the coffee filter tie-dye. Okay friends, I have my coffee filter here. What shape is the coffee filter? It goes round and round. That's right, it's a circle. So we're going to fold our circular coffee filter in half. And look friends, do we know what shape this is? We learned about it in our C Shapes book. Yeah, it's a semicircle. So now we're going to fold our semicircle in half one more time. And look, what shape does this make, friends? We also learned about this shape in our C Shapes book. Does anyone remember? Yeah, it's a fan shape. So this is the shape we're going to color onto. We're going to count the layers together. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers that we're going to have to color through. So for this project, you need to color through all the way to the bottom layer. So you might want to leave your markers sitting on the coffee filter for a while. So first I'm going to use this color. What color is this, friends? Yeah, it's red. So I'm just going to do that over here. And we're going to color and make sure it goes all the way through the coffee filter. So you can check by turning it over and seeing if there's color. And is there color on the other side, friends? Yeah, there is. So that means that I colored enough. And then I'm going to use this color. What color is this, friends? You're right, it's orange. And I'm just going to color on top of it, on top of the red a little bit. And it's okay if you leave some space, if there is some white left on your coffee filter, because it'll get filled up later. And let's make sure we're checking the other side to see if there's color. It looks like there's still a little bit of white right here, so I'm going to make sure I color through the layers, all the way through the layers. I'm just going to keep coloring my coffee filter and making sure that the color is going all the way through every layer. Now I'm done coloring this side of my coffee filter, and it's okay if there are some white spaces in between. And now I'm going to flip it over. And can you still see the color on this side of the coffee filter too? Good, we want to make sure that we can see color on the other side of the coffee filter too. So now you're going to get your spray bottle filled with water, and you are going to spray all over and make sure the whole thing gets wet. And what happens to the colors, friends, while you spray it? Can you see what's happening? Look, the colors are kind of starting to move. So when you're spraying, you want to make sure that the color covers all the white spots. Okay, when you're done spraying and the whole thing is wet, there shouldn't be that many white spots. And now we're going to let this dry. If we try to open it now, it might rip. So we're going to move on to our wet wipe tie-dye. For the wet wipe tie-dye activity, we're going to need some wet wipes, some markers or some watercolors. We're going to need some rubber bands, and you're going to need something for the wet wipe to dry on. Okay, let's count the sides of our wet wipes together, friends. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Our wet wipe had 4 sides, but are they the same or are they different? Is the top and bottom length the same as the 2 sides? They're not the same. So what shape is this? That's right, it's a rectangle. It's very close to a square, but since there are 2 longer sides, it's a rectangle. So we're going to get our rectangular wet wipe. You're going to find the middle of your wet wipe right here. You're going to pinch it. You're going to fold it down, and then we're going to twist it together. See, it's all twisted now. And now you're going to get your rubber bands, and you're going to tie off different sections of the wet wipe. So you make sure your rubber band is nice and tight around the wet wipe, and you can fit as many rubber bands as you would like onto your wet wipe. Okay friends, I am done putting rubber bands on my wet wipe. So let's count them together and see how many I have. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 rubber bands on my wet wipe. Now let's count your rubber bands. Are you ready? Wow, you have so many rubber bands on yours too. Now it's time to color our wet wipe. You can get any color you want. I'm going to start with blue, and I'm just going to color this little section right here, the top part where the rubber band stops. Okay, I colored that top part blue, and it's okay if you get some color on the rubber bands too. And you can kind of paint in the holes of the rubber bands if you have some. And then you're going to move on to your next section and color it in with your next color, and you're going to go all the way down until there's no more spaces between the rubber bands. When you're coloring your wet wipe, make sure you're coloring in all the white that you see. If you see little holes in the fold, you can poke your marker in there too. And just like the coffee filter tie-dye, we're going to try to get our ink through every layer. So if you want to leave your marker there for a little bit so that the ink goes through, and that way the whole wet wipe will be colored. Do you see any more white on my white wipe, friends? No, I colored all of it. Now it's all colored. And once you're done coloring your wet wipe, now we can take off the rubber bands. Are you ready to open it? Okay, let's open it together. Okay, so this is what my tie-dye looks like. It looks like I missed some parts, but that's okay. That means I have to try again and try to twist it more so that I color all the sides of the wet wipe. If you use liquid watercolor, you'd probably get more color and it would fill in more of the white. But you can also just color in the white spots with your marker now. And when you're done with your project, you're just going to set it down and let it dry. And now let's go check in on our coffee filters. We wanted to wait a little bit to open the coffee filters so that they don't rip, but now we can open them carefully. We're going to slowly open them. And look at our coffee filter art. If it's not fully dry yet, we're going to put it down and let it dry. But now we have 2 new tie-dye arts for you to do, and I hope you had fun with these activities and show us what you made.